There is much discussion in the Stoic community on the internet about how we should act and what habits we should have to become better and lead a virtuous life. However, very little is said about the habits we already have that are completely detrimental to our lives. Epictetus said the following: "There are two vices much blacker and more serious than the rest: lack of persistence and lack of self-control. Persist and resist." Epictetus knew that the key to living rightly is to persist and resist. Persistence means not ceasing to exert ourselves and act in the right way, even when we don't feel like it. It means developing new ways of behaving that make us better. Creating good habits is not easy, which is why we must be persistent. The other key is resistance. Resistance involves avoiding temptations and bad habits that destroy us. We must master our minds to avoid anything that does not add value. In this channel, there are several videos where I talk about good Stoic habits, but I haven't yet discussed the things we should avoid. What habits and customs in our daily lives should we resist? Now is the perfect time to start eliminating from your life anything that makes you worse off. Avoid negative emotions that distract you, or put an end to anything that prevents you from achieving your goals. In this video, I will talk to you about 9 habits that we all have in our daily lives, and that we must avoid if we want to live fully and happily. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you liked the video, as it helps me spread this philosophy to more people. If you don't want to miss any videos, subscribe and hit the bell icon. 1. Stop wasting your time. Seneca said the following: "We are always complaining that our days are few and acting as though there would be no end to them." Seneca reflected a lot on the duration of life and came to the conclusion that many of us don't really live. We simply exist. We waste our time doing things that don't bring us anything and postpone what we have to do when we feel lazy. We act as if we were going to live forever and don't realize that time is the most valuable thing we have. Nothing assures you that you will be alive tomorrow or in a position to do what you want. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Let this reflection on time make you not waste it and value it as it deserves. The first step to living a good life is to start taking the time we have seriously. 2. Stop clinging emotionally to things. The Stoics believed that we have to learn to let go, not only on a physical level, but also on an emotional level. You have made a mistake in your life. Don't torture yourself with it. Learn from it so as not to repeat it. Guilt and regret do not help you. This does not mean that feeling these emotions is wrong. These emotions help us understand that we have acted wrongly. But once we have understood that we have acted poorly and learned from the situation to avoid making the same mistake again, we should not let these emotions continue to torment us. We all make mistakes. Don't suffer excessively for it, and always seek ways to grow from the error. 3. Stop procrastinating. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations the following: "You could be good today, but instead, you choose tomorrow." Or, in the words of Seneca, "The fool, with all his other faults, has this also: he is always getting ready to live." We prefer to say, "I'll do it tomorrow," instead of saying, "I'll never do it." Although many times when we postpone something, it's to never do it. If you have something to do it now. What sense does it make to postpone something you have to do, even if you feel lazy? It's always better to do what you must now for several reasons. The first, as I have already mentioned, is that our time is limited, and the second is that rest is enjoyed more when you have fulfilled your obligations. When you postpone something out of laziness, you feel guilty, and know that you should be doing something instead of resting. You don't enjoy the rest in the same way because deep down, you know you don't deserve it. The worst part is that sooner or later, you'll have to fulfill that obligation, so you haven't gained anything by postponing it. There are few sensations that surpass the satisfaction of a job well done. For it to be done well, it implies doing it at the right time, not later. 4. Stop seeking benefit or recognition in everything you do. If you have done something well, if you have helped someone, if you have succeeded in something, stop seeking approval or recognition from others. Thinking that others have to thank you for what you do for them, or that they have to congratulate you for what you have achieved, will only generate suffering for you. You don't control what others think. You don't control if they appreciate or reject what you do. You only control your actions. Let the purpose of an action be the action itself, not the recognition. If you do something, let it be because it makes you happy, or because you believe it is the right thing to do. Recognition and congratulations from others often come after a job well done, but if no one recognizes your effort and work, it's okay. You didn't do it for that. You did it because it was what needed to be done. Understand that thinking this way will make you feel satisfied with yourself, regardless of what others think. Focus more on giving your best. 5. Stop looking the other way. In Stoicism, one of the most important virtues is justice. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Cicero talked extensively about this virtue in their works. To be just means to act towards others in the right way, to do what we ought to do. In the Meditations, Marcus Aurelius speaks about how injustices can also be committed when we do nothing. When an injustice is being committed, doing nothing and letting it pass makes us accomplices. A significant part of being just involves preventing injustices that occur around us, even if they are not caused by us. Stoics are individuals who avoid unnecessary conflicts, as they believe we should live in harmony with others. But there are situations where a Stoic cannot look the other way. The moment when an unnecessary conflict becomes a necessary one, and that moment occurs when an injustice is being committed against oneself or others. A Stoic must defend themselves without forgetting the 4 Stoic virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Although others may commit injustices, their actions are beyond our control, but our actions to prevent them are under our control, and this makes us responsible for acting. Evading that responsibility makes us accomplices to the injustice, even if it wasn't provoked by us. 6. Don't be afraid of change. Marcus Aurelius wrote the following in his Meditations: Everything's destiny is to change, to be transformed, to perish, so that new things can be born. Everything in life is subject to change, both the good and the bad. Trying to keep everything the same, apart from keeping you focused on something you cannot control, prevents you from discovering the abundance of opportunities that exist and may arise in your life. Do not fear these changes, for they are inevitable and beneficial. Instead of focusing on avoiding change, concentrate on adapting to it, on embracing the good that comes with the new things that appear in your life. Through change, we can become better, we can evolve. This does not mean we should reject the old or what we currently have in pursuit of changes in our lives. If we are content with what we have, it simply means we should not fear it, as we have the ability to adapt to whatever life presents us. 7. Stop being a slave. Seneca wrote the following: Show me a man who is not a slave. One is a slave to lust, another to greed, another to ambition, and all men are slaves to fear. There is no state of slavery more disgraceful than one which is self-imposed. Seneca was right in saying that we are all slaves to something. Often we don't even realize it. We have forgotten that to be truly free, we must have our minds fully under our control and be able to resist the temptations that arise in our lives. The best tool to achieve freedom and mastery over our minds is discipline. It may be harder for some than others, but we must all remind ourselves daily who is in charge, us or our impulses. Or in the words of Epictetus, no man is free who is not master of himself. 8. Stop settling for mediocrity. Strive for excellence every time you do something. In your life, ask yourself, have I given my best? If you look back on your life, you will realize that in many situations you did not give your best. The question is, why are you doing something that doesn't deserve your best? And if it does, why didn't you give it? Ask yourself this with everything you do, and always strive to do it to the best of your ability. We cannot control whether we succeed in what we do. We cannot control whether we win or lose. We cannot control whether we receive recognition for what we do. But it is within our control to exert maximum effort and give our best in what we do. Everything else that is beyond our control should not matter, because settling for mediocrity when you have the capacity to do something extraordinary is not worthy of you. 9. Don't let anxiety dominate you. In his Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote the following: "Today I escaped anxiety, or no, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside." External events are not the cause of anxiety. You are the sole responsible, as that sensation arises within you due to your thoughts about your future problems. Anxiety doesn't help you or make you better, nor does it serve to solve the problem. It is simply a thought that tortures you, contemplating what may or may not happen in the future. Realize that no matter what happens in the future, no matter how much uncertainty there is in your life, you have probably overcome worse situations before. Understand that you have the tools to combat anything negative that may come in the future. Differentiate between things you cannot control and things that are under your control, and consider the worst that can happen. In many cases, you will realize that the situation is less serious than you thought. Do you have any habits in your life that you want to eliminate? I look forward to your response in the comments. I hope this video helps you to break free from habits that we all have in our daily lives, and that do us no good. Removing these habits and incorporating new ones into your life, as explained in this channel, is the path to living a peaceful, happy, and purposeful life. Until next time.